Yeah, that's what he said. Yeah.
Let's have some fun.
Oh, yeah. All right, welcome to the Sports Porch Pittsburgh.
Welcome.
Let's go, Swifties.
We are here. First of all, I want to thank you. If you're watching us on social media, you can find us anywhere all over the world on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on YouTube, on Twitter. And after every live show, we drop the podcast, the Sports Porch podcast on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or anywhere you get your friggin' podcasts. And you can always find us on theporcheslive.com. theporcheslive.com right down there.
Porcheslive.com.
That's right. That's right. And, of course, your Buccos report after every Pirates game on the podcast by yours truly, frustrated Buccos fan / announcer / moron.
Who has done
Rough run.
Who has done the most winning down at the sports complexes this summer?
What do you mean?
Which complexes?
What are you talking about?
Taylor Swift.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, she's a winner.
Well, and as you can see behind Steve here, we have the Swiftie Vest.
This will not be going on sale later.
Our resident. I wasn't planning on making a bid on it anyway.
No, it's not for sale.
Yeah, but I must applaud you for having the balls to bring that on here.
I'm very proud of it.
Yeah, well, you know what? You're lucky in that we've known you for 30 plus years now, so we already know that you're strange and we accept it.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
What do you, our listening public, think of the Taylor Swift lavender vest that Steve donned at the concert on Saturday?
You don't have to leave any comments. We know you love it.
Come on, let us know.
Come on. I mean, everybody knows Taylor Swift, and everybody knows that she is the greatest artist of a decade. So just leave it at that.
She's been around longer than a decade, though, right?
Yeah, but sure. In the last decade, she's really ruled.
Okay. Well, we're gonna.
Oh, Amy has a comment.
Let's see what Amy has to say here before he gets embarrassing. Yes, I don't know. You know what?
If she was down at the stadium, she would not be saying that.
I don't know.
There was a lot more embarrassing things going on at the stadium than that vest, I can tell you.
Yeah, there's a lot of fashionista stuff going down there.
There were a lot of people that were much more passionate about Taylor Swift than yours truly.
You were almost like a blemish.
I was. Yeah, that's absolutely true.
Blemish. All right, let's move on here because
definitely an abnormality.
We'll get Taylor Swift comments in later.
DG, hello.
What's up, DG?
It's pouring down rain.
It looks like
in the Berg.
It looks like. Why don't we just get our first real quick live look in at PNC Park? There it is. It looks like it is raining like crazy. I don't want to keep that up there too long.
Hey, honey, you better close the windows at the Greenfield apartment.
Is she? Does she listen to the show or watch it?
Oh, she says she doesn't, but I bet if I just said that, I bet all the windows are being closed right now.
Or maybe because it's raining.
It looks like behind home plate.
Although they were going for ice cream.
I want you to look behind home plate. It looks like there's 5 fans.
It's like it rained. Yeah. Everybody laughed.
There it is.
Like, it's raining.
Look at the Cubs guys. They're filling in. They're like,
yeah, perfect. There it is. Perfect.
It's raining. We're out of here.
All right. Yeah, looks like they're going to go into a rain delay. We've got a little bit of a delay here. So anyway, keeping up with that, it is the top of the second inning, going into a rain delay. Pirates, Cubs, all tied up at 0. And we're going to talk about the Pirates right now. And I want to thank everybody who listens to the Buccos Report on the podcast.
Thank you.
Anywhere you get your podcast, because it's a lot of fun. And I know a lot of people are listening, and I'm really, really grateful. And I am going to keep doing it the whole year. I'm going to do every game I can.
Thank you. I'd like another,
I say go for it. Yeah. Why not?
You'd like what?
I'd like another, sir.
If you can get through this last stretch that they were just so terrible, I think you can make it.
Let me tell you something.
Score update.
I am going to talk. Oh my goodness! Today is it 2-0?
You got a hit in the rain.
They're going for a rain.
Oh, good Lord! Come on now. Okay. Well, the first thing I want to do is I want to talk about the fact that the Pirates are doing, it seems to me, what the Pirates do every year, just a little later right now. And I'm going to bypass everything that we've been talking about lately and I've been talking about. And the first thing I want to do is I'm going to go to Henry Davis. Okay.
All right.
Henry Davis starting in right field. Okay. Bringing him up. He had 200 and some at bats in the minor leagues this year. I think he had 200 and some last year.
Okay.
He was drafted 1-1 in 2021.
First pick overall.
Overall, that's 1-1. Right. And the point I'm making is that he's had a grand total of less than 500 at bats in professional baseball. Okay.
Well,
and
semi-professional.
Well, I mean, I just count the organization.
Yeah.
And they bring him up now, and he's the third catcher on the roster. And I want to get you guys' take on this because I talked about this last night on the Buccos Report. Marketing move, PR move. We just lost 6 straight to division opponents and dropped from first to third.
I think it's stupid because if you have a number 1 overall pick, right, and clearly they've been playing that position their entire life, why would you bring somebody in and then just stick them in the right field? Like, that makes absolutely no sense from an organizational standpoint. I've never coached a baseball game. I know the game, but I know that if you draft somebody first overall in the entire Major League Baseball system,
right,
you don't bring them in to be a right fielder when it says C, they're a catcher. And then, and what are you doing to that person? You're basically saying, we drafted you number 1 overall, but you're not good enough to play behind these 2 guys that are batting 187, and we don't trust you enough to be able to beat them, so we're just going to put you in right field.
Yeah. DG, I know it's a typo. He says Biden walked to load the bases in the first. No, Biden usually trips.
He's not on the Pirates.
Biden's not very good at walking these days, but Beto is.
He hardly is able to walk to the podium. Anyway, so the point is...
no offense.
Yeah, no offense meant. So
are you doing lines of
no?
What's going on over there, Chris?
No, I was using some of Mark's nasal spray before the show.
That happens.
So I guess the whole point about this thing for me is that I agree with you. I mean, absolutely.
Yeah.
The reasons are, I think, what I think the reason is they need to put asses in the seats at PNC Park, which, as you can see by the rain delay, they're not achieving anyway.
Yeah, the rain's not helping them.
Yeah. So
nobody got the ponchos.
Right. And DG says possibly a Hail Mary manager is no genius. Absolutely,
yeah,
DG.
I'd agree with that.
Absolutely.
Hail Mary's good analysis.
Right.
Yep.
So,
where's Doug Flutie?
So
probably in right field.
In watching the Pirates this year, and we talked about this before the show, it's almost as if their entire lineup is basically some version of the same hitter. Either a half decent version or a really bad version. But since I've watched a lot of the games this year, all the games this year since I started doing these reports back in April, by the way.
Yep.
The Pirates truly are, in my opinion, they are a bat and a pitcher away from being a contender for their division and the wild card. Nothing more.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This team is better than last year's team. It's being managed, in my opinion, very poorly. I think the management style is terrible. I don't think, and it's really funny. I've been harping on this.
When you say management, do you mean like the actual managers in the dugout or
on the
field, executives
on the field
in the press box?
Charrington's only had 3 years, and you know what I mean. He was a good GM outside, brought into a bad situation.
Yep.
So the grade is not in on him yet. Got to give him another year.
Fair enough.
Maybe 2. Shelton, on the other hand, and I say this every podcast because I'm afraid that maybe he'll listen and by accident, and then he'll just decide to hate me. But he's probably the nicest guy. Okay, him and his staff probably nice guy.
It may be that they let off G1 Bay because of your podcast.
I'm pretty sure they did.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure they
begging
did.
for it over and over again. At some point, you got to say, I got to shut Klein up.
Yeah,
we got to shut that guy up on the sports porch.
Yeah. Well, the other thing that I have been saying, that I started hearing the sports show saying today, is that why in the hell are we letting our young pitchers go 4 innings, get into a jam, and pulling them right away, especially when our bullpen has injuries and nobody else can pitch?
Right.
You got to teach these kids, A, how to pitch through adversity, and B, condition them to pitch longer in the game. That's the solution to a poor bullpen.
Right.
Okay. And our bullpen in the beginning of the year was one of the better bullpens in the league. So 2 things happened. It got overused and they got injuries. And now they're trying to cobble together. Like they brought up this kid Zastryzny. I don't even, and then Mlodzinski. And what are we doing? Drafting all of Eastern Europe to, do they all have Pittsburgh roots? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I
got a few skis in my past.
I'm talking.
There are a lot of skis in Pittsburgh.
Yes, there are. So no, well, these are Z's. Strengths knee. These are knees and Z's.
ZYs.
Look, none of that stuff matters.
As long as they ate pierogies, we're good.
And the other side of it,
not the ones that run in 7th inning.
I hate pierogies too. I can't stand
what?
Them.
No one asked.
No, you don't. You don't.
No
You
one
don't
asked
hate
you.
pierogies. You
All right.
can't hate a pierogi
hate is a
because it
strong
doesn't
word.
have a lot of flavor. Like you can
He's making my point
you-
for me
you
right
What's
You
there.
can-
wrong with a potato?
Yeah.
you can hate a prune pierogi. Yes.
What's a prune pierogi?
A
Pierogi with a
made with
prune.
prunes.
Yeah, it's really easy to figure out.
Have you
Yeah, it's pretty easy. It's what the name said.
have
Yeah,
you
whatever.
ever had a prune pierogi?
No, I have not.
Okay.
Nor would I
But
want
those
to.
actually have a lot of flavor. Like a regular pierogi just has some potato and some cheese in it. You can't hate.
Do they put prunes in the pierogi, or do
Yeah.
they use the prune and wrap it around the pierogi?
It's like a prune sauce.
I can't even believe I'm asking this question.
Yeah. Prune pierogies, they're a thing.
Was this something that you did in Mount Pleasant when you were younger?
Well, I've had them and I don't like them as much.
Right,
Let's just put it
right.
that way, because it's it's like when you're eating a regular pierogi, it's savory, but when you're eating a prune pierogi, you're like, is this dessert or is this a meal? It's too confusing.
Yeah, that's why I hate pierogies.
Yeah, and
That's one of them.
prunes in general just
Yeah.
they give a bad connotation.
You want to address that there, Schwaber?
Mark,
Amy
you-
May?
you
I don't
got
She
like-
anything-
doesn't like pierogies, and she's part Polish.
There you go. And
Well-
we're cracking DG up as usual. Stick with us, DG. You'll laugh a lot, maybe. We might make you cry at times.
It happens, when you get in the pierogi conversations. People are passionate about pierogi.
I know.
What is the?
That's like being passionate about Band-Aids.
What is the-
what's your favorite Band-Aid?
No,
what
not
is-
passionate.
What is
Can't
that?
have that
What is that
conversation.
like Polish noodle dish? What's that called?
Halushki.
Halushki or
Halushki.
halupki?
Yes,
Halushki.
I think their players eat halushki.
Halushki.
hmm
I don't like halushki either.
Why?
Do you like halushki?
How bad can it be? It's just noodles and butter.
Yeah.
Noodles
right.
and
There's
butters.
some
and
little sauce.
Then why do
some
they call
cabbage.
why do
You
they
gotta
call it
You gotta have
halushki?
cabbage. You gotta have cabbage in there.
Yeah.
I mean, those are pretty much like they're the thing that's nice about those foods is
'Cause
they're
everything-
hard. They're hard to mess up.
Yeah, right. They're not offensive.
Yeah, they're not great,
Yeah.
but they're never.
You can be like, I don't prefer it, but you can't be like, I hate it.
Yeah, it's like at worst, it's average.
Okay.
He's right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
You can't argue with that.
Okay.
can't argue with it.
Yeah. This has become an average conversation as well. So let's go back to the Pirates.
Well, I mean, we are talking about the Pirates.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think it's
we should be
appropriate.
below average
Yeah.
if we're doing that. Yeah.
Well, I think we're headed in that direction.
We are
Yes.
definitely. Where do I see the Pirates going from here? I really honestly
They got to sweep the Cubs.
they have to, but they're not going to. I mean, they're playing right now. They're down 3-0 in the bottom of the
Yeah,
second
but
already.
Smiley's not a good pitcher. They'll get to
Yeah,
him.
we'll see. If anything, what they have going for them here is that they're horrible in Wrigley Field. Their record since 2015 in Wrigley is like 13-42
They're
or something.
playing at PNC Park.
Well,
Yeah,
what I'm
well,
saying
and
is
they're
we're playing in PNC now.
They're
Oh,
terrible.
Are
in
you still on
Milwaukee,
the
too.
Halushki conversation? Is that where you are?
No,
Are
no,
you
we're
starting to
not
get
going-
hungry,
No.
Schwab?
Mm.
No,
The stomach is like churning for some Halushki. Like, here's the
Anything
deal.
really.
Here's
Like,
the
just
thing.
give him some crackers.
Here's the
Peanut
thing.
butter crackers. You got some peanut butter
Yeah,
crackers.
he raids my pantry every time
yeah.
he comes to
He'll
the
be
studio.
all right.
I always say the studio, but we know it's
you
my
have like
house.
one cracker
Meh,
in your
I
pantry.
like the studio.
Oh, that's my wife's
Got
fault.
nothing in there.
It's because that's all she eats is crackers. So no, here's the thing about pierogies and halushki and all that stuff, but mainly pierogies. I have never, and I've lived in Pittsburgh 30 years, dude. And I live with you, longer.
You've been here. You're a half Pittsburgher.
I have
at this point.
never in my life, a half Pittsburgher. Thank you. I have
You're welcome.
never in my life, heard anybody say, God, I'm so hungry, man. I could use a pierogi.
Then you're not talking.
Never heard that.
You're not talking to Pittsburghers. You must really alienate yourself.
Who the hell are you to be talking about anything? I mean,
I am.
I didn't mean.
I am.
I didn't mean it like that. I meant.
I am a human being.
Oh my god!
I meant, who the hell are you to be talking about Pittsburghers?
Yeah.
I know.
It's not like you're going down the homestead to get some pierogies later.
Yeah, listen, we're just. Well, I mean, I heard they have some banging pierogies in Homestead. If you know what I'm saying.
No, I don't think that's
pretty good
true.
pierogies in Homewood too.
Hmm?
You just gotta.
Pierogies are good.
Pierogies by the bag. Look at Schwab shaking his head. He's like, "We're going down the wrong road. This is a sports show, Chris. A sports
pierogies
show.
Are not prostitutes.
That's right.
That is
They
true.
do start with the same letter, though.
You're so strange.
Wow!
I am.
Wow!
You're
What a connection
you're
you made
very
there.
strange.
You were just breaking all kind of news on the
You're
porch
very,
tonight.
very
This is a dead zone, though. It's the dead zone.
Yeah, this is what happens when you get into the
Is Henry Davis up to bat next? Yes, he is.
I believe he is.
That is him on the on deck circle.
Yeah. Should we put him? Should we put him on? Should we do a live look in on Henry Davis?
Well, only when he's up.
Yeah.
Only
That's what
when
I'm
he's
saying.
There are 2
No.
outs. Yeah.
No.
I mean, it's only Henry Davis. He's a right fielder now, by the way, in case you're just breaking.
Yeah.
We're breaking news.
Catcher.
Shouldn't we call him Hank? Wouldn't that elevate the level of his play?
Hank.
It could.
Yeah. Hank, I like it.
What's his
Hank
number?
Davis.
What's his number? What
He
number?
was wearing 32, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think so. Did he walk?
I like
Castro?
Hank. Yeah.
I think he walked him. Did he walk him?
That was a ball.
We're gonna get Henry.
No,
Two and
he's
two.
not going to walk.
Okay, everybody's going to stop paying attention to us now. So,
All right,
struck him out. End of the
right.
inning. Next inning, we'll catch up with him. So, I don't think Henry Davis is I don't think Hank Davis is the answer. I disagree with the decision to call. Well, I don't disagree with the decision to call him up. I don't. Just like last year, the Orioles brought up Adley Rutschman. He's turned into quite a contributor. I don't know that Henry Davis.
I think a lot of our viewers would like to learn more about Adley Rutschman.
Yeah.
No.
I'm just saying that I don't. What I can't stand is, and where they've put the place they've put us in, the Pirates organization, is that we, for the first time in a few years, we have a team that got off to a great start and is within striking distance and seems to be kind of like a good manager away and a good player or two away from, being a valid team, being in the conversation. And the answer to this slump that they go into in mid-June from a PR perspective is, okay, guys, we're going to bring up Henry Davis.
Yeah.
And it's like, look, no, that's not the answer. Okay. This guy could be the second coming of all catchers and all hitters. We don't know that, but that's not how you keep a team in contention.
Right.
I question right now the manager and what's going on behind the scenes there. Okay.
Right.
You can't have, like, for example, I've been harping on G1 Bay batting leadoff. They finally put him in leadoff. He goes 0 for 3 yesterday. Okay. Now, is he taking the night? Is he taking the night off? Look how bored Steve is. Is he taking the night off today, or is he not playing because he's essentially a rookie as well. Okay.
Yeah.
Does he not bat against left-handed pitchers as well? But when you take him and you put him in the number 1 spot, he should be playing again tonight in the number 1 spot, because that's the reason you elevated him in the lineup. Let's see what happens. Okay. Because he's prototypical of a leadoff hitter. And then you pull him out of the lineup, you put Kutch back in there, you mess around with everything. Baseball is a game of inches and consistency. And this manager has no consistency, and we just re-upped his contract.
So let me get this right. The entire season, you've been begging for G1 Bay to be batting leadoff. They finally bat him leadoff, and now you're irate again.
Because they didn't put him in again tonight.
Because it was for one game.
Because it was for one game.
Yeah.
What good does that do?
He needs a day off.
Maybe that Mr. Day Off.
Well, and I think that's what it was. It was Kutch needed a day off, so they just threw him in there.
Yeah,
that's all it was.
That's not how you win baseball games.
No, I mean, they're not making a change. They're just plugging in.
You know what they're doing?
For somebody who needs a day off.
Yeah, they're effing around is what they're doing. They're totally effing around with the lineup because they have no idea what to do with the lineup.
Well, they know what they need to do with the lineup, but the management is not going to go out and get somebody to put in that position.
The bigger
Is
management.
Sawinski not in the lineup today?
No, and he's been. I don't think he is in the lineup. He's been out the last couple of days.
He's got a wrist injury.
I was going to say I don't know if he's slightly banged up.
Yeah, it's nothing major.
Yeah.
I don't think he needs to be out for a long time. I think he's just going through the healing process.
Yeah.
162 games.
Yeah, it's Kutch, Reynolds, Joe, Santana, Hayes, Castro, Davis, Marcano, Hedges. I can't stand Austin Hedges.
And that's what's so mind confusing with this whole call up the catcher. You clearly have a catcher behind the plate who's not good hitting the ball. Just replace him.
Yep.
And by the way, did Hank have to borrow a glove like to get out the right field?
No.
Most catchers just have catcher's mitts.
Yeah.
I don't see him out there with the catcher's mitts.
They all have all kinds of gloves
really?
now.
Yeah. It's not like it was when we played Little League.
No, that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
And that was
I'm just checking because that was probably the last time I played.
Yeah.
I think as far as Henry Davis is concerned, right move to bring him up because why not? You've got nothing else to lose.
I don't disagree with that.
But I agree with all of you in that just let him play catcher.
Yeah. Just put him in where you have a need.
Yeah.
He's your number one pick for Christ's sake.
Right. I mean, and it's not
you
like,
can drop F-bombs, you're
it's
allowed.
not at all like you've got a serviceable catcher.
No, right.
No.
Exactly. He's not the future of this franchise.
Yeah, it's not like, hey, we got to get him in the lineup somewhere.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the perfect place to put him in the lineup.
Yeah. I agree.
Exactly.
I totally agree. And we haven't even talked about the fact that you've got a younger pitching staff. You've got a guy in Mitch Keller who seems to be turning the corner as far as being, and I said last night.
Not yesterday.
Well, no, actually, he did not pitch poorly yesterday. He had 7 strikeouts. He gave up 4 innings. They pulled him in the 5th inning. Leave him in another inning or 2. Let the guy go 6 or 7. See what happens. The wheels came off after they pulled him. So
yeah, that's true.
I'm digressing on that point. But what I'm saying is if you have this younger catcher who was your 1-1 pick and you've got a younger pitching staff, to Mark's point, why would you not bring him up? Because let's see what happens and catch him so that he can develop a rapport with the pitchers.
And I did hear an interview with him from the week before, and they said he does call all the games in the minors. Henry Davis does.
Yeah, so he obviously knows how to do it.
He knows how to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like he's, clueless.
So let me see if I've got this right. Henry Davis is a catcher for life who calls games, every game that he's ever called, and the Pirates bring him up, and now he's a right fielder.
Well, for tonight.
And they still have a catcher who's batting 187
in the lineup. In the lineup. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In the lineup. Yep.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure I got that right.
You do. You got it right.
What are they, like, afraid to, hurt the guy's feelings?
I don't know. Maybe.
I mean,
this is Pittsburgh.
We don't
like to hurt people's feelings anymore.
Most people get it, when you're hitting 187 and you also don't get any home runs, you're usually down in the minors.
Yeah.
Right.
Sorry, you're not doing it. You're gone.
I know. Well, I'm going to push for Davis to bat leadoff. I hope he bats leadoff. I think they should put him in there.
I think he should play left field next week.
You think so?
Sure, why not?
He might. Now, how confusing do you think it is to him?
Right.
Yeah, to him.
Exactly.
Like, hey,
I got drafted #1 overall in the Major League Baseball. I'm getting called up. Yeah. Okay, you're in the lineup tonight. You're in right field.
What?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Like,
right. Okay.
Okay.
This is the hardest. This is the hardest part of this entire exercise for me. Okay, because when they started in April, they were going gangbusters, and then May obviously was horrible, and then in June they kind of rebounded, and it was like, oh look, they're playing well again, and now they're going through another big slump, which I expected. Okay, but now it's kind of like, all right, we're still within striking distance. What's our next move? And now this is what I will call Bucko's oblivion. This is oblivion. This is like, now we're at the point where nothing is going to make sense for the rest of the year.
Right. They're slowly going to drop They were in first place last week this time.
Yep.
Now they're in third place.
Yep.
They're going to stay there.
Yep.
They'll kind of be like there.
Yep.
And who knows, maybe even St. Louis passes them in the next 2 months.
Yeah, and that's the difference between the last 4 or 5 years is that we never got to this point to even be in first place.
Mm-hmm.
So my excitement was more around, oh my God, look where they are. Let's talk about this.
Right.
And now it's like, here we go again. But hey, look, their schedule for the rest of the year sucks, or for the rest of the until the All-Star break.
Yeah,
sucks because they got these 3, Chicago. Then I think they go out to San Diego. They play Milwaukee again. They play the Marlins. They play the Diamondbacks. And so by the end of this entire run here, let me see. I'm putting up the oh shoot. I'm trying to put up the rest of the schedule so we can talk intelligently and then move on from this. So when you put up the full schedule and you're going into the All-Star break now, this is where the rubber is going to meet the road here. So we've got these 3 against Colorado here at home, and then we go to Miami and play the Marlins. Not an easy deal. Okay.
They're good this year.
They are good. Then San Diego comes into town. Now it's a 4-game set with Miami. Then San Diego comes into town for 3. Milwaukee's back in town for 3. We go out to Los Angeles for 4, and we finish up with 3 in Arizona.
Yeah, that's
so
rough.
it is really, really possible that we could finish at the All-Star break 10 games under 500.
Yeah.
And at that point, game over.
Sports Porch crowd, we are now going to bring you to a live look-in from PNC Park to watch the first career at bat for Henry Hank Davis.
There he is.
There he is. He looks like a Major League Baseball player.
He does.
The phenom.
He does. And, that is probably his family.
The family.
The family is getting ready to applaud their son, the prodigy. The chosen one.
The new
chosen
right
one.
fielder for your Pittsburgh Pirates.
Yes.
Or maybe there'll be some
Are we just
rain.
going to do the entire pre at bat? Oh, okay. Here we go up to the.
Well, because once he gets into the batter's box, you got to get going. Like, you got to waste all your time before you get to the batter's box.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Once you're in there, that's
Davis.
it. 20 seconds. Hit the clock.
All right. So, what are our predictions for the result of his first at bat?
I'm going for a
strikeout,
ground out to the shortstop.
I'm going shocker. Home run.
Yeah, of course you are.
Oh,
Yeah.
that would be not a shocker.
It makes you
Why
look a
not?
lot better than if I predict strikeout and it
just
happens.
means I know my
Well,
base.
that just means
Right.
he's meant to be in right field if he
Right.
hits a home run.
Right.
That's all I got to say about that.
Oh, yeah.
He's got 92 miles an hour coming in.
Yeah.
Yeah, 92s, you can clock that out.
Do you think the ump just asked him, did you see that? Yeah, I saw it. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a baseball.
82. Yeah,
that's a baseball.
I'm not worried about an 82
Yep.
mile per hour
Yep.
fastball.
Yep. Here we
Does
go.
this guy got a cutter?
Yep. Young and he is not the savior. He's pop out the shortstop. So are we
That's it.
behind?
All right, Graves, I'm with you, baby.
Well, that might have already happened.
Looks like he's got a good eye.
Yeah.
Looks like the Pirates bullpen.
Yeah, they're really
is
practicing hard.
fascinated.
Yeah,
by
they're
this
practicing
at-bat.
hard. Yep. Here we
Fascinated.
go.
Everybody wants to see the kid.
Oh, there it is.
No.
What do we
Rio
got?
got-
3-0.
I say you got to give him the green
Give
light.
him the green
Hitters-
light. That's
hitters
right.
count.
Swing away.
Definitely.
Swing
hitters
for the
count.
fences.
Give him the
Yeah.
green light.
I know I'm violating some sort of.
It's
Yes,
only
sure.
one at bat.
I don't
we're
think.
good. I think we're good
I don't
here.
think
Okay,
anybody's
yeah,
going to
okay.
care.
I don't think they should, to be honest with you.
Oh,
there it is. Strike
oh.
one.
Oh,
I wonder if he did have the green light because that could
I-
have been launched.
I just witnessed the
Eh.
first strike in Henry Davis's career.
something
I
you can
did.
tell your grandkids
That's
about
right.
someday.
Strike number one
Maybe
for Hank
sooner than
Davis.
you think.
Yep, there it is. Boom.
Oh,
Foul ball.
And
Well, hey, at least he worked it full.
Yeah,
you
hey,
know? What can I say?
at least
Yeah.
we can maybe.
Here comes your strikeout,
Maybe we can
Clyde.
finally get you stopping your bitching about Barry Bonds.
That will never happen.
Yeah, Barry Bonds is a Hall of Famer, Schwab. We're just not. It's end of story.
Is he in the Hall of Fame?
No.
Yes.
Yes.
He's not.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's there.
he is.
Yeah,
What for his cleats for?
There you go. Base hit.
Oh, it could be
It's a double.
Could be a
Oh.
double. So who was
Watch this. He's going to pull a hamstring coming in the second.
So-
Ow,
No,
ow, my
Shelton's going to
leg.
try to send him to third.
Ow, my leg.
There you go. All right. Oh, he
well,
pulled the sword.
The sword.
Pulled the sword.
Got the
Everybody's
sword.
happy.
So who-
Everybody's happy.
So who was
All
who was
right,
closest?
Henry Davis.
Who was
Thank you for watching with us.
closest on that first at bat?
You were.
Of course.
Yeah.
A
You've always
grand
been-
Schwabini.
Yeah, there he
I don't
is.
know. Was
Knows
it
all, tells
closest
all.
to the shortstop?
Yeah, I don't know.
Those are doubles.
Yeah, but he
Close to the
did. Jeff said pop out the shortstop. Okay, all right. We're totally off the rails now. Listen,
Yeah, it happens.
listen. Here's the deal: the
dead time.
Pirates have a tough schedule until the All-Star break. I am not very positive on the idea of them finishing the first half of the season at 500 or better. I don't see that happening. Maybe it will. You never know. I wish Henry Davis, Hank, I have to remember to call him Hank. I wish Hank Davis all the luck in the world, and I hope the guy hits the cover off the ball. Prove me wrong, but I really would like to see him catch. I'm with you guys 100% on that. The guy should be catching, and hey, who knows? We'll move on from there. So, moving on to the Steelers.
Your Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah.
Patrick Peterson.
Maybe we should say something about Stan Savran,
Yeah.
Oh, you know what?
since we're going to be talking about the Steelers.
Yeah. Yep. Stan Savran.
really good guy.
Rest in peace, Stan Savran.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Stan.
The-
Absolutely.
I think Sports Beat was on for over 20 years.
Stan and Guy love the
Mhm.
show.
Guy
Yep.
Junker.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Wow, has he changed?
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
I
He's got
know.
it's kind of like I'm older now. I'm just going to let my hair go.
Just let it go,
Gonna let
guys.
the
Have you
stash
seen
go.
some of the pictures of Stan Savran when he was younger? He was
Yeah.
like a pretty good looking guy as well. with
Am I
full
spelling
yeah.
his name right? Savran,
Yeah.
R-E-N, Stan Savran?
No,
Or is it A-N?
Savran.
S-A-V-R-A-N?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
S-A-V-R-A-N?
Mhm.
Okay.
Stan.
Actually,
Just say Stan. Love the
actually,
show.
it is actually longer than that. He shortened it for TV. It was something like Stamvrasky or something like that.
Really?
Yeah, for
Like
real.
your name was Schwabellini Lugadugi?
Actually, it was Schwalbine.
Was it Schwabine?
Yeah, it was.
Really?
Yeah, we had to shorten it so they'd let us in the country.
Like porcupine?
Like the fact that you found that to be hilarious just speaks to your immaturity.
He has such contempt for me at times. I love
Yeah.
it.
But Porcupine's actually pretty funny.
Porcupine. Yeah,
No,
but
but
they're
I
not
mean-
called porcus now.
Yeah, just make fun of the people who are escaping the camps in Poland,
Listen, man.
Warsaw.
I'm just not doing it. I'm just not doing it. DG's laughing, and that's all that matters. When your number one fan is cracking up, you've done something right.
That
That's
is
all I can
correct.
say.
I think
That
he's
is correct.
cracking up about the Pirates, but
I think he's
let's
cracking
get
up
back
about
to Stan.
porcu.
Stan Savran, one of the greatest, sports guys in the area.
Yeah, pretty cool guy.
Yeah, I mean, he ran into some health problems there at the end. But man, that guy just had such a wealth of knowledge about Pittsburgh sports. For him to go is a big loss for the area, and condolences to his family.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
a nice. I always thought he was a very calming voice.
He was. What does Jeff say? Chris's last name was Kleinovich.
Mm-hmm.
No, but actually, Jeff.
Klein of Stocken.
Yeah, it was much more German.
That's not really how you pronounce it, but it was close. It
Yeah.
was close. Now, my name in German, the word Klein means small. So I am Mr. Small.
Oh,
Yeah,
well, that's
please
not,
have fun with
that's
that.
not
Yeah.
good.
Have fun with that.
That's
yeah.
not. I would never make fun of
Yes.
your ancestors.
I would
Yes.
never make fun of your smallness.
Guten Tag, Herr Small. Anyway, so where were we? Yes. All right. Okay.
On our
Stan-
way to the Steelers.
Yeah, but Stan Savran for me was when I moved here 30 years ago was one of the first voices, but besides Myron Cope and him,
Yep.
two of the first voices I heard on the radio. Stan was doing the pit games, wasn't he? Doing the Pitts game, right?
Mhm.
One of the first voices I heard on the radio was Stan, and his voice was unmistakable. And of course Myron Cope, who I thought was
a zag.
yeah. Was that Myron? Were you doing
Yes.
Myron?
Yes.
Yeah, I used to do a Myron.
Yeah. Let's hear
Yeah,
it.
yeah. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
And then he would get down there and he went down to the touchdown and then he went drummed up.
Like it was just like that. That was it. I mean, it sounds like him. I just wasn't
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
prepared with an actual speech.
I get you.
So looks like somebody says saludos de Sinaloa, Mexico. So that means greetings from Sinaloa, Mexico.
All right.
Greetings.
I learned that when I was landscaping the other year.
Congratulations.
Thank you for being here. Really appreciate that. Okay,
Yeah,
so
Martha. Welcome to the show, Martha.
we're going to now move on to the news that is not the news, which is the Steelers. And
Patrick Peterson had some comments.
yeah, he said they're going to be a great defense, but
He
it's
said we've got all
KP's year
the
or something,
pieces
right?
on defense. This year is about Kenny Pickett.
right.
Put some pressure on your quarterback.
Right. I have
Steve likes it.
I say that it's true. I mean, the reality is the defense is set. I mean, there's really nothing else you can do with that defense to make it any better. But the big question mark will be all season, what is going to happen with the offense?
I mean, yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. And actually, the one thing I do like about Patrick Peterson is we finally have a mouth on the defensive side who can just say it, right? Like
Right.
before, people were kind of afraid to say stuff. He doesn't seem like he's too afraid to say things, which I kind of enjoy because I kind of missed it since Ryan Clark left, and that's been a while.
That has been a while.
happened.
Yep.
And so I'm happy to hear it. I don't know if it was the right thing to do to call out your, second year quarterback like that, but I'm okay with it because I think Kenny wants to put it. I think he wants to put his arm where, Patrick Peterson's mouth is.
Well, ultimately, it doesn't really matter.
It's a horrible thing to say.
You got to do it. It doesn't matter who's saying what. You just got to do it.
Yeah, and I don't take what he's saying more as
No, it wasn't a negative. It was really
Yeah.
probably more motivating than anything.
yeah. I don't think that's what Steve was saying, but I also don't take it as kind of putting it all on Kenny Pickett's shoulders. I think he's stating the obvious.
Right.
Mhm.
It's kind of like, look,
Yeah.
they have some great pieces on that defense. The defense has the ability to play really well and potentially definitely be in the top half of the league. If not, if they have a great year, they'll be top 10 defense.
Mhm.
And they have the pieces on offense. They have some dynamic young receivers. They've got a good running back. They've got a revamped offensive line. What's left?
Yeah,
It's kind of like the quarterback's got to show up.
They're
Mhm.
keeping the team together, I mean, they didn't really lose anybody of any big value on the offense or the defense, really. So I think it makes a lot of sense.
And I think Jeff just wants to hear us talk about how much we don't like Matt Canada again.
Oh boy.
Oh, I know.
You
That's
know
a
what?
bait.
It's
That's
so
a bait
true,
one right
though. It's
there.
like a broken record. It's
You know
almost
what?
like talking about the Pirates and what they do. It's like, yes, of course,
Yeah, I just had
Matt Canada.
I was just in the midst of having positive thoughts of the Steelers, and then I heard Canada, and it all went down.
Yeah, I know. I know.
It's
I
just,
got
it's
caught in a
just
jet
such a
sweep.
It's just such a softball.
Yeah,
It is. It really is.
I got caught in a jet sweep, and I couldn't get up.
Yeah. Najee commented regarding understanding the value or lack of value for NFL running backs. Let's get to that in a second.
That's
I
good.
question about the MLB's middle linebackers
Yeah,
and offensive
middle
line. Hopefully Canada figures out to use their talent and strengths. Okay.
Yeah, I would say that's probably their
Yep.
weaknesses.
Well,
middle linebacker, offensive line is, once again, it's young. So,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't be too down on the offensive line, Jeff. I think
Not yet. Yeah.
I think they're going to be. I think they're going to be better than last year. Let's just hope they're as healthy as last year.
I agree. I think even take Broderick Jones out of the equation,
Mhm.
and you have a line last year, second year playing together, did play better. You bring him back this year. We could talk all we want about Dan Moore and all that kind of garbage.
He's a backup now.
Experience is a positive for these guys. And yes, I think the O-line is going to be much better this year, barring any unforeseen injuries, of course. Now, Najee commenting about running backs. Here's what I think about, and you guys heard these comments, and of course, you know what's going on in New York and Baltimore and all that.
So Saquon Barkley doesn't have a contract yet, or an extension rather.
Well, and they franchised him.
Well,
right?
yeah,
Right.
all he's
And-
got to do is sign
right.
the
And-
franchise.
And
tag.
Dalvin Cook, well, he's threatened to hold out, for a deal.
Yeah,
and
'cause that
Dalvin-
always works out.
Yeah,
What a
and
loser.
Dalvin Cook has gone unsigned.
Yeah, which
Looks
is
And
yeah.
Zeke's unsigned.
Nobody
right?
wants to give him big money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Cook
would give
and
Dalvin
Zeke.
Cook big money before I'd give Zeke big money
Sure.
right now. But anyway,
Heck yeah.
the fact that Dalvin Cook isn't signed, that tells you something right there.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think the whole idea for me is this: look, running backs aren't worth what they used to be worth. They're just not. It's a passing league.
Yeah.
And
Unless
running
you're a
backs'
running back
careers
that
are
can-
short.
Unless you're a running back that can catch the ball, you can be on, all three downs, and you can block for the quarterback whenever you have to. That's the kind of running back people are looking for. They're no longer looking for, a Henry who's going to get the ball, 25, 28 times, and he's going to run it that long.
Yeah.
Offenses just aren't interested in running that kind of offense much anymore.
And what I think is even more critical here is in this day and age of social media and personal branding, I think that these young players, they make this mistake over and over again. They think that somehow their personal brand is bigger than the league. And what they haven't learned is that the league will always be bigger than you. It doesn't matter who you are. Is Jerry Rice bigger than the NFL? No. He's one of the greatest, if not the greatest receiver that has played the game, but he is not bigger than the NFL. And if you don't play the game on the business side and you're pushing your personal brand as it's worth more, then the NFL will cast you aside no matter how good you are, and you won't play again, or you'll take a secondary role. You'll learn like Le'Veon Bell did, that you're not going to put yourself before the league.
I think there actually are a few Major League football players who are bigger than the league. I think Mahomes is one of those guys. Like, I think Patrick Mahomes,
Brady, right?
Well, I mean, people still think Brady's coming back, and maybe he will come back.
But I mean, when he was here, yes,
yeah,
But you're talking about an elite, like tippy top,
right? But I mean, even there are some running backs in the league, maybe not now, but when they're running the ball well, the league really does want those guys out there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really what it comes down to.
Yeah.
And as long as there's good talent out there, the NFL loves that. But the reality is the running back position, you get like 2 or 3 good years, and almost has to be your first year. You have to be really good to get 2 or 3 good years, because by the time that 5th year comes around, there's like 1 or 2 guys that are left.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
And with the way the contracts are structured, nobody's going to get that second big contract as a running back. You're already done.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to probably end up happening to Najee that way.
Yes.
And that's probably why Najee commented on it, because he knows he's going to be a victim of it next year.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I wouldn't use the term victim, but I mean, he's going to be in the same position.
There's nothing he can do about it. So why not speak out about it now?
Right.
I think when it comes down
but it's not going to help him. That's the whole point. How's it going to help him?
This is not going to change anything. It's always going to be that way. So if he wants to speak out about it now because he's frustrated, he can. But you know what? If he goes out and runs for 1,800 yards this year, then he makes a valid point about, maybe getting signed next year to, a 2 or 3 year extension.
Well, he's going to have to do that first.
That's right.
I also think more teams now than ever are employing the 2-back system.
Yes.
And along with that, a lot of theory these days, because the passing game is so important and it's so featured now, basically teams are saying, if we have a great offensive line, that makes it easier to run the ball. We don't need the best running back in the league.
Right.
So, that's kind of another part of how the position's changed.
Yeah, but the problem with the two, in my opinion, the problem with the 2-back league is if you have somebody who's there to catch the ball and somebody there's to run the ball, you're kind of tipping your hand as to what you're going to do. You have to almost have like a similar style running back, so it doesn't really matter who's out there. So you can still say, well, maybe they're going to throw it, but if Derrick Henry's out there, they're going to run it.
Well, that speaks directly to DG's comment here. Canada says you need a good running back to pull off 10 jet sweeps per game. It's always back to the jet sweep. You know what? I will be so happy when that guy is gone. I'm sorry.
Whew.
Yeah, so
you might be waiting.
I got to point something out here. There's something going around in the air here, because on a previous show, our Philly show, Mark called the umpires in baseball the refs, and you just said Major League Football players. Which I think, don't you think that's,
what should I be saying? National League football?
Professional football players. It's not called the major leagues. It's called the NFL. It's called the National Football League.
You could argue that it's the major league.
It
Yeah.
is the major
Well, I
leagues
mean,
of football.
See, I can never get
But
these
it
guys
isn't
to
called
agree
the
with me.
MLF.
They just want
I
to
think the
screw with me.
MLF is something else.
What's the MLF?
Well, I don't think we're allowed to say that online.
You missed a letter in that one. I love this. Get ready for the future. Now
Yeah.
we're going to see 400
Hey,
highlight.
Silverberg has got a great album, though. Have you heard Silverberg?
No,
No?
but 400 highlight reels of a ball skipping up the line on third base. Like,
Hey,
he's here.
it's-
Hank is back.
It's
Are
the
we-
new highlight.
Are we going to do again later tonight the 3 guesses for the concert that Mark's going to?
I'm yeah, sure. We can try.
Shoot, man, I forgot
We
to
can
do my
try.
homework on that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did.
But I love that idea.
whatsoever.
But
Well, let's do a little hockey first.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
do hockey first. What's
Okay.
going on with those Pittsburgh Penguins?
Okay.
So nothing is going on with hockey now.
And
that
we're done.
Well, I mean, kudos to the Vegas Golden Knights raising the
Yep.
Stanley Cup.
Yep.
Jack Eichel, the first $10 million a year contract award winner who got to raise the Stanley Cup, which is pretty interesting to me.
Yeah.
Which basically means if you sign a big contract, you're not necessarily going to raise that Stanley Cup. He's
Happens
the
all
first to
the
do
time.
it ever.
Yeah. Wow.
So that's interesting.
What about the dude that was all drunk in Vegas? Which guy?
Oh,
I
yeah,
saw
Wild
him.
Bill.
Yeah, I saw
Wild
him.
Bill. Yeah.
That was classic.
Yeah.
He was like,
we
I don't-
played them in the first game ever, and we kicked their ass.
Yeah, he's talking about Arizona, who everybody
Yeah.
kicked their ass that year. It was hilarious, and he was like, I think he said something. I don't even think I have a point, but that's
Yeah.
okay.
Right.
That sounds like something Steve said in college a
Right,
few
right,
times.
right.
Yeah, that's great.
I don't know why
love
I'm
it.
saying this, but
I
I'm
think-
saying it.
That's
so
right.
I think
I don't
it was
care.
Carlson actually.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
it
was
was
Wild
Carlson.
Bill.
Yeah,
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 Wild Bill.
yeah.
Who was the drunk guy. So yeah, they're having fun. Good for them. You should have fun with the Stanley Cup. Try not to, ruin it. End up at the bottom of the pool like it happened in Mario's spot. But
Yeah.
good for Vegas. I think they're not going to repeat next year. I wouldn't predict them. In fact, I think they're down there in the middle of the pack when it comes to repeating.
I think that's a pretty easy prediction to make, though.
Yeah, I mean, the NHL is wide open, but
Yeah.
I did see something. It was fun. It was fun to see Kessel, 3-time Stanley Cup champion. People showing it with the hot dogs in the Stanley Cup again. It's just a lot of fun when Phil wins the cup. People have a lot of fun with that. Even though he really wasn't much of a player for Vegas in the postseason and really even the regular season.
I actually didn't notice him out there at all.
No, he was a healthy scratch.
Healthy scratch. Okay.
Pretty much since the first series.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Congratulations,
on
your name's on the
success.
cup again.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Same with Teddy Bluger, actually.
Yeah.
Both of those guys were healthy scratches for most of the series.
God, did they luck out.
But Bluger is.
Thank God for, I bet you
Yeah.
they love Ron Hextall.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Bluger does. Yeah.
Bluger
Bluger,
does, yeah.
loves Ron
Mhm.
Hextall.
Yeah, right now.
Inside
I think
job.
actually,
He did a great
Actually-
job.
think he
Schwaber.
probably wishes he still played for the Penguins
The
because he
Philadelphia
probably would
connection.
rather be on the ice than be on the bench.
Bluger?
Yeah.
You
Well,
think he'd
he's-
rather be on the ice than hoisting the cup
Well,
with the
he-
jersey on?
Apparently,
Well-
Bluger is actually very good friends with Crosby, isn't he? 'Cause Crosby was really upset when he.
No, I just
He's
think
gone.
Crosby was upset at the way it went down.
Yeah.
That whole thing went down. It was
Yeah.
more about the professional aspect of how you let somebody know they're
Oh.
being traded.
Okay.
I will say one thing, being the extremely casual hockey fan / observer that I am, the one thing, and I'm saying this now, so it's after the fact, so it's going to sound like, yeah, sure. When they did announce a couple years back that Hextall was going to be the GM,
Yeah.
in the back of my mind, I knew, I was just like, it is over, because he was a flyer.
Inside job.
Well, yeah, I mean, we joke
Well-
about it. We joke about it,
Rick-
but I knew
Rick
nothing
Tocchet-
about his
Rick-
history.
Rick Tocchet was a flyer,
Rick
though.
Tocchet
But
was
Rick-
a flyer, and
Rick-
that worked out all right.
But Rick Tocchet was also, he was a flyer, but he also played for a lot of other teams. He coached a lot of other teams. Do you know what I mean?
Well,
like,
after the
Yeah,
trade.
yeah.
right?
What I'm saying is that Hextall was classic. I mean, and you guys know, we saw Hextall get into a fight at the Spectrum back in the 80s. After I was Schwammer
was
at that
you
game.
and
Yeah,
me.
yeah,
Yeah,
it was,
you
yeah,
two
me,
guys.
yeah.
You got
It was
your-
Fosnock night, and they threw all the donuts out there on the floor. There's your problem with throwing things on the ice.
Better
anyway,
than rats.
I just knew that it was over for the time being. I was like, as long as Hextall is in any way associated with the Pittsburgh Penguins, there is no way he's gonna do anything good for them.
Yeah, I understand, but we're past that era now.
We are.
And the
yes.
thing about Dubas, the only thing that he hasn't done yet, which I'm a little surprised at, the time to actually buy out contracts is now. So, and he hasn't bought out Mikhail Grandlin's contract yet. So that means one of two things. One, he's not going to do it. Or two, he's just going to try and trade him first. So maybe they're trying to put a package deal together to try and get him out of here with somebody else.
Worth a trade?
Well, he would have to be the throw-in in a trade.
Okay.
Like, maybe this is pure speculation. Maybe they're looking to trade some big guy like Gensel, and they got to throw somebody garbage in with it to take his contract, as opposed to eating it and, just doing it. So we'll see what happens. Nobody's going to take him, even if they do, eat his contract. So, but it will free up some cap space, which will allow them to sign other players. So that's the only thing I'm really keeping my eye on. The draft to me is not something you could keep an eye on. With the Penguins drafting where they are, they're probably going to just get some guy, and he's not going to. And the thing is,
I hope they draft some guy.
They might trade the first round pick to get somebody. That would be the other thing they would do.
All right.
But my guess is they're probably going to keep it, and they're going to, get somebody who maybe will be playing for the team in 2 or 3
You know, it
years.
would actually be a nice pickup for the Penguins if they were able to get him on the Flyers is Kevin Hayes. He's a pretty good. He's a pretty good offensive player.
He is, but he's too old.
I don't know if he's that old. He's probably like 30 something.
Yeah,
31 maybe.
No, the Penguins need to trade for guys who are less than 25 years old.
They need to get younger and faster.
They have to. But I see. I know what you're saying, but that would be the kind of guy they would get.
Right.
I would rather, if they're going to go after anybody for Philadelphia, and I think maybe the time for getting people from Philadelphia now should be over for a while, especially because of the Hextall
I agree
stuff.
100%.
But I wouldn't mind getting Carter Hart.
Right.
To be honest.
Maybe they could give Grandlin to Philadelphia. That would be good.
There is a lot of.
I think we should trade Grandlin for Carter Hart. Yeah, that'd be a good trade.
Yeah.
There is some talk. There is some talk that they'll listen for Carter Hart, because the bottom line is it's a complete redo.
Yeah. No, I think Carter Hart probably will get out of Philadelphia, but I'll be surprised if he'll probably end up in Toronto, somewhere like that.
So just to remind everybody, now that the Stanley Cup is over, first of all, I want to offer my congratulations to Hockey Jesus on one hell of a hockey season.
Now the hockey season is officially over.
I mean, that was he stepped up to the plate, set the example, and going forward, I set the mold.
You did. Done,
the biggest thing.
And you notice my name has changed now. The hockey season is over.
That's right. Oh, look at that.
Oh,
yeah. Your persona.
I did not notice that.
Your persona. But I understand.
I'll bring back the hockey Jesus, when the boys are back in camp.
Absolutely. And going forward, what's going to happen is we're going to have the Buccos reports. We're going to have the Steelers reports. We're going to have Hockey Jesus coming back. Maybe Schwaber will do a golf report for us.
Oh, golf report. Yeah. Maybe a tennis report.
You want to do a tennis report, Schwaber?
Actually, Djokovic just won the second leg of the Grand Slam.
Yes, he did.
So he's got 2 more to go this year.
And he now has the most amount of Grand Slams in the history
of all tennis players, 23, passing Rafael Nadal at 22.
Mm-hmm. And they
Roger Federer.
What do you think? Do you think they could? You think they could meet in the Wimbledon final?
Oh, sure.
That would be fun.
Yeah, they could. They could definitely meet in any finals. It just, I guess Nadal's got to get healthy again.
Yeah, Nadal's not doing too well.
And we've officially become a sports show now. There you go. Yeah, that's perfect.
I love tennis. I love to watch all those majors.
Yeah,
even
I'm not a tennis fan.
Most of the rounds too. Like most people wait until there's the semifinals or something like that. I think some of the early rounds are pretty fun to watch too.
Yeah. Well, I never played tennis, so I never watched it.
Well, you didn't.
Yeah, it's too cerebral.
I watched it in high school.
Yeah, you didn't grow up with money.
Yeah, because I certainly did.
And that's it. Okay, we got one more segment. What are we going to do? We're going to guess. Oh, yeah. Look, listen, guys. First of all, I want to thank. I want to thank everybody while these guys are messing around.
I'm just going to look up.
I want to thank you for watching the Sports Porch on social media, on all of our social media pages. Of course, that's the Sports Porch, Pittsburgh Beautiful, Chicago, New York, Philadelphia, American Beautiful, LinkedIn, the Sports Porch, YouTube, Twitter, and all that stuff. I want to encourage you to subscribe to our podcast, which we drop right after the show on iHeart, Apple, Spotify, or anywhere you get your podcasts. And do us a favor, leave a review for us. That would really help us kind of rise in the rankings of the podcast. And as well, if you have anything to say at theporcheslive.com, which is the website down at the bottom down here, you can click the Say Anything tab. Leave us a voicemail. Tell us what you think about what's going on in sports, especially here in Pittsburgh right now. DG's comment, kudos to all three. Steve with hockey, Mark with Sixers, Chris with the Buccos report. Thank you, DG. He listens to all of them, by the way. He listens to all of them.
Does
Yes,
he listen? Does he listen to the Phillies report?
I don't. Well, he must, because Mark with the Sixers. Okay, well, maybe he'll start listening.
Yeah.
Hey,
He's
DG,
not,
leave
you
us
don't
a
have
review.
to hit the Philly tab.
DG's always asked how he could help us, and you've already helped us immensely, DG, so you don't have to help us anymore. But if you have a moment and you're listening to one of the podcasts, leave a 5-star review, or a 3-star if you think we're only kind of good. But leave a review. That would really help. Amy says she hopes that her friends aren't listening. I'm not sure that was
that's
for you.
for the concert.
She was joking about my making fun of you for not having money, but
Right.
you actually you did grow up with money.
I grew up with a couple dollars. Yeah, not. I'm just not going there tonight. Hey, should we get a live look in at Hank Davis's second at bat?
No,
quick?
we should.
No?
We should guess Mark's
No?
All right.
concert. I'm really into
Okay.
this
All right.
now.
You
Now
get-
that I got a list.
You get 3 guesses. I'll answer the guess.
No, wait.
Well, no, 3
Now,
questions.
you
I'll-
said that this band was
Hold on.
around in like around.
Hold on, I want to
2000,
answer
right?
Jeff's question here. Jeff, we are in the studio, which is in my home studio. And yes, we are in the same room. We are all together. There is Steve right there. And then when you swing around right here, this is the Sports Porch, soon to be, there you go, soon to be a radio station.
Yes.
Yes,
Coming
soon.
soon.
Coming soon.
Coming
We'll
soon.
probably make an announcement in the next couple weeks, but there is a new radio station coming. Oh, and DG says I'm a long time Philadelphia Beautiful subscriber.
there
Thank
you
you,
go.
DG.
We love you, DG.
Thank you. Absolutely. So, okay, what's the deal? When is the concert? Come on.
No, I can't tell you. Like,
I thought I could get it.
The couple thing you can't guess when the concert is.
No, we don't need to know.
You
when
can't
the
guess
concert is.
where. You can't guess when it is or where it is.
Can you give
right.
us a genre?
See, and here, Jeff. Here's the control panel. That's my control
that
panel.
That could be a question.
Like I can make Mark not now. You can't hear Mark. Say something, Mark.
Hey.
Yeah. See.
Yes.
I have complete control, Jeff. Just like high school.
Okay.
That's the way.
All
I
right.
was
So,
like this.
Steve,
All right.
question number 1.
Question number 1. What is the genre of this band?
Rap.
Yes. Okay.
Oh my
Would you
God.
consider rap hip hop?
I would say you could say rap / hip hop for the
Okay.
artist.
All
yes.
right. Let's go. You got it. It's your turn to
yeah,
ask.
I have to ask a question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have any of these rappers ever been in a gang?
This rapper, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm gonna say no.
I completely made that question up.
Yeah, I'm gonna
I
say
have
no.
idea
Was
what
this
that is.
band around in the 1990s?
No.
Okay. Very good.
Is it
You're up.
Mac Miller?
It is not. He's dead.
I know.
That would be impossible.
You're dumb.
If you're going to a Mac Miller concert, that would be incredible.
Yeah.
I might go.
Was this band around in the 2000s?
Yes.
Well, I mean, oh, you mean the first decade?
Mhm.
Yes.
The knots.
Mhm.
We call it the
and
knots.
then your question.
Does this band play any real instruments?
Yes. Okay, so you've asked 3 questions each. Now you get 3 guesses each.
Mhm. Okay.
Well, you guessed Mac Miller. That's 1.
No, you can't do that to me.
All
Because
right.
I knew he was dead.
All right.
Good Lord.
Okay. Make 3 guesses, Klein.
Now he calls me Klein. I don't know. I don't even know.
Okay.
I don't even know any rap bands.
Well, neither do I, but I at least have one.
Journey.
What are you, an idiot?
I don't know any rap bands. I don't listen to rap music at all.
Are you then you're giving up you're conceding your guesses?
Here you go. I got one.
I have to say I have to concede,
Okay.
or I'm just going to keep guessing like bad 80s bands.
Okay, here's
Poison.
One. How
It's
about,
a rap band, you idiot.
I don't know. I know.
How
All
about I got one. I got one. How about Nas?
No,
Was that a good guess?
not really,
Oh.
because he's old school rap.
Good Lord.
He was probably around like in the 80s, like maybe late 80s, maybe early 90s.
How about 90s, but he came on the scene in 2000.
Mm.
Okay. How about Fat Joe?
No.
I guess I'm going to get 6 guesses because Chris isn't.
I'm checking out the Pirates
I'll
game.
give you 6 guesses
Okay.
if you want them.
I got one. DMX.
No.
This is hard.
Vanilla Ice.
Is that a real guess or no?
No. Jeff Paula says the Beastie Boys.
No, it's they started in 2000.
I know. He's
Okay, here's one. The Game.
No. But that was a better guess.
Thank you. I'm getting better at
I'm
this.
getting better.
No, not that guy. Not that. Oh, okay. Here's a good one. This is it. I think I got it. Method Man.
No. But again, a better guess.
I know that was a pretty good one. That was my best one.
You're moving up into the
Mhm.
time period.
Okay. How about this one? Twista.
Nope. We will have to find out again next week.
Oh, come on.
Cue the music.
All right, everybody. Jeff, let's get Jeff's guess in there.
Nelly. No, that's 2.
No.
All
Beastie
right.
Boys. No.
DG says you be illin'.
I am.
That's right. All right, guys. Thank you for listening and watching on social media. The Sports Porch Podcast. You can catch the podcast on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or anywhere you get your friggin' podcasts, and always at theporcheslive.com, theporcheslive.com. theporcheslive.com. And we will catch you all next week. We are out.